How long can a desert cactus go without water? Up to 6 months. Up to 5 years. Up to 1 year. Up to 2 years. Typical desert cacti can survive for up to 2 years without water. This is because it has developed thick stems that store a lot of water, and has a protective layer that prevents water loss. However, this doesn't apply to indoor cacti, because the conditions are quite different. Indoor varieties do require frequent watering depending upon the species. What country does not the Rhine flow through? Luxembourg, Austria, Switzerland, France. The Rhine is one of the longest and most important rivers in Europe. It runs from its source in the Swiss Alps, issuing from the Rhine-Waldhorn. The Rhine flows through 6 countries: Switzerland, Principality of Liechtenstein, Austria, Germany, France and the Netherlands, before flowing into the North Sea at Rotterdam. Why did the hero of Fyodor Dostoevsky's novel, Raskolnikov, drop out of college? He didn't have enough money. He dies by suicide. Love turned his head. He didn't have time. Only 23 at the start of the story, young Raskolnikov is in many ways still the student he used to be. He still dresses like a student and often calls himself one. He had to drop out of law school because he didn't have enough money, like everyone else in St. Petersburg in the 1860s, and is conflicted about his feelings on a lot of issues. Where is the Prophet Muhammad buried? Jerusalem, Mecca, Medina, Cairo. The Prophet is buried in the sacred chamber, along with 2 of his most faithful companions, and the first 2 caliphs of Islam, Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, and Umar ibn al-Khattab. The sacred chamber was once the hujra of his wife Aisha, the house in which he was staying in at the time of his physical demise. Today, it forms part of the Masjid Nabawi complex, and is the most venerated tomb in the world. The graves are surrounded by several walls which have no windows or doors, and thus can't be seen or accessed. What does the science of onomastics study? Liquids, names, insects, books. The science that studies names in all their aspects is called onomastics. The subject of this science is broad, because almost everything can have a name, and because the study of names theoretically encompasses all languages, all geographical and cultural regions, and all historical epochs. Which famous painter sold only 1 painting in his life? Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Pablo Picasso, Salvador Dalí, Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh was never famous as a painter during his lifetime, and constantly struggled with poverty. He sold only 1 painting, while he was alive, The Red Vineyard, which went for 400 francs in Belgium, 7 months before his death. His most expensive painting, Portrait of Dr. Gogh, was sold for $148.6 million in 1990. Who is the Egyptian goddess of motherhood? Imente, Bastet, Isis, Mot. Isis was of the most important deities of ancient Egypt. Her cult subsequently spread throughout the Roman Empire, and Isis was worshipped from England to Afghanistan. She is still revered by pagans today. As mourner, she was a principal deity, in rites connected with the dead. As magical healer, she cured the sick and brought the deceased to life, and as mother, she was a role model for all women. What is the Urbach-Wiethe disease? Heart disease, lung disease, intestinal disease, genetic disorder. Urbach-Wiethe disease is an extremely rare autosomal recessive disorder, characterized by mutations in the extracellular matrix protein 1 gene, on chromosome 1. Typical clinical manifestations include voice hoarseness in early infancy, and neuropsychiatric, laryngeal, and dermatological pathologies later in life. Which country does the mojito cocktail come from? USA, Cuba, Jamaica, Brazil. Mojito is a traditional Cuban highball. The cocktail often consists of 5 ingredients: white rum, sugar, lime juice, soda water, and mint. Its combination of sweetness, citrus, and herbaceous mint flavors is intended to complement the rum, and has made the mojito a popular summer drink. What color do you wear to a wedding in China? White, black, red, green. Traditionally, Chinese weddings are very different from Western weddings, even just in terms of colors. Red plays a vital role in Chinese weddings, because this color is associated with success, loyalty, honor, fertility, and love, amongst others. Because of this, decorations at Chinese weddings are generally in red, and so is the bride's dress.